matters with regards
Recording
to
in
our staff.
progress.
Appreciate it if you guys don't press me on that stuff and just let that one drop. But again, I apologize for me being late. As far as injuries go, everyone came out of the game healthy yesterday. Herbie, obviously he was the one that was active but didn't play. Hopefully we get him back this week. It just, things weren't right and it was too late to get him deactivated. Kenny Yeboah, hopefully we can get him back this week. Corey Davis will go day to day. We're hopeful. Sheldon Rankins, we'll see, not looking like, but it doesn't look likely. And then Max Mitchell, we'll evaluate him again over the next couple of days to see if we can get him back to the 53.
Robert, can you start off by just stating what your quarterback plans are for this week and explain why?
I've just been dealing with so many different things right now. I'm going to get to the tape and just evaluate everything, and I'll leave it at that. We're keeping everything on the table over the next couple of days.
So you're not committing to Zach as your starter for Sunday?
Not right now, not until I'm done evaluating everything.
That's the first time you suggested that, left it open a little bit, or I think it was about 3 weeks ago where you said he's your starter for the remainder of the season, barring injury. What's changed? I've got to be able to sit back. I think we all got to be able to sit back and just look at what's best for this organization and this team. And it's not all about the quarterback. I want to be very, very clear. It's not all about the quarterback. There's a lot of things that we can do better as coaches. There's a lot of things that the O-line needs to do better, receivers, running backs, tight ends, play caller. There's defense, everybody, special teams. So I get it where everyone looks at the quarterback and just wants to throw everything on him. It's not always about the quarterback. But there's also an evaluation process to make sure that we're doing what's best for the organization. And that's every position. That's quarterback position, receiver, that's all of them, offense, defense, and special teams. So like I said, I'm a little behind, and it's just things I've got to go through in my own process to make sure that I catch up. So.
Robert, have you said that to Zach yet? Is he aware that he is not guaranteed to start this coming game?
Every player always knows where they stand before they leave this building. So,
Robert, what did you
how did he take that? How did Zach take that when he was made aware?
Everyone's a professional. I think we've operated the same way day in and day out, and so I think our players are very respectful through that whole process.
Robert, Mike would be the other option for you?
I haven't even thought about it. So just everyone's on the table. So,
Robert, I know you're saying you have to do what's best for the organization. Is that what's so difficult here? Because last year you were a developing team. You let Zach develop. That's what you wanted to do. But now you have a playoff type defense. You need to look at something different. Is that the way you look at it?
It's for sure. I mean, I do think we've got a championship quality defense. I do think we've got really good players on offense. I do think from a schematic standpoint, I think we're right there with everyone else. But just trying to evaluate to see how we can get this offense going a little bit. Whether it's making movement at receiver, maybe shuffling the O-line. It's just not the quarterback that's being evaluated. Everything's being evaluated. So. Just trying to do our best to try put together the best 11, 15, or whatever's active on game day, and try to find a way to get the ball moving and possess the ball, keep the defense off, score some points, and win some football games, because we got a great opportunity with these 7 games left. We're 6-4. There's a lot of really cool things to look forward to, and I just want to make sure that from a coaching standpoint, we're covering every single basis that we can. And we're doing everything that we can to make sure that we're putting the best 53 players on the football field so we can win games.
Robert, can you comment on what your opinion were the way Zach handled himself after last night's game, specifically with you really didn't take any accountability for the mistakes he made and for his performance. What was your take from a head coaching perspective?
Obviously, football is an emotional game, and I'm not going to shy away from the fact that I do think he is the ultimate competitor. He wants to win just about as much as anybody. He works as hard as anybody. It means so much to him. can he be a little bit better in front of you guys, and when he's up here on the podium, and in terms of the expectation that when you are standing in front of the podium, it's our job to take bullets and own it, especially when it's time to own it. Yeah, of course he can, but I don't think it's indicative of how he feels about his team or teammates, and I don't think he is naive to the fact that offense didn't play to the best of their ability while the defense is out there pulling. I don't think that's what he was trying to convey. I really don't. But yeah, obviously he can be a little bit better, but and I think he'll be better for it.
Do you worry,
Robert? Can you
about him? Robert, do you worry about him losing the faith and belief of the locker room?
No. Those guys are in the locker room. They talk to each other all the time. It's probably more of a question for the locker room, but I don't think so. I think these guys understand that. I think players have empathy for one another. They know how hard this job is. They understand it all. And I've said it before, he without sin cast the first stone. We all make mistakes. And I think Zach will, like I said, is it a mistake? Sure. Is it something that he'll get better from? Absolutely.
Robert, as you evaluate the quarterback position and all the positions, really, I guess, but we're talking about the quarterbacks. Are you focusing just on what's happening on the field, or are you looking for more maturity, more leadership from that position?
For me, it's global with regards to practice, game film, practice film. I don't think Zach lacks in leadership. I don't think any of our players really lack in leadership. I think our players are who they are. I think they all do a really good job. I think they all love the game of football, and they're so competitive that I do think that they put in the work necessary to try to find ways to get better day in and day out. But so it's just trying to find a way to get our offense moving in the right direction. And like I said, it's the quarterback's not the only one being evaluated. It's the entire outfit.
Robert, when you look at Zach statistically, he's at the bottom of the league in a number of categories, and it would seem that level of performance would get somebody at any other position benched. So why would you not bench him just based on that level of performance?
That's the same thing like I just said. It's not you got to be able to run the ball to get teams to commit to the run game. You've got to be able to find easy outlets. You've got to be able to complete the easy throws. You got to be able to run the easy routes. So this is a global thing. I know that the quarterback gets all the attention, but from watching TV, you guys don't know if a player ran a route 3 yards deeper than he was supposed to, or if he didn't, somebody busted. You guys don't know. You guys, it's or you're not seeing it live. I'm not saying that you don't know, but you're taking it at face value. There's so many more things that happen on a play, and so just evaluating to just find the right answer. What's the truth? And that's what's most important. And it's when a quarterback throws an interception, not every interception is a quarterback's fault. You guys are very well aware of that. And so just trying to make sure that we're doing right with our regards to the evaluation, tell the truth, look at the film and understand what's happening on the football field, and making sure that we're making the right decisions for the team. And again, that's just not the quarterback position. That's every position on offense.
Robert, I think you could probably I know you're opening it up to every position on offense, but the moment you say quarterback and not committing to Zach, I mean, that becomes the major story here. And
for sure,
if you think about this entire year to this point, even when Zach has struggled, you can go back to his rookie year. The one thing you've constantly committed to is that he is this team's quarterback. He's this team's future. He's this team's franchise, and he is your quarterback. And even yesterday, you kind of said it's the furthest thing from your mind. So how do you get to this point? How do you go from that's the furthest thing from my mind to now you're sitting here telling us that, no, I mean, everything is on the table with who's going to start at quarterback, when that seemed to be the untouchable position throughout the last year?
No, fair question. I can give you the whole explanation in terms of just being on the plane ride, and you watch the tape and you just see some things and you write down notes, and it's just me taking a step back. Now I got to go back. Like I said, I'm behind on the day, but just to take a deep breath and say, you know what, everything needs to be evaluated. It's just when you put up 100 yards of offense, I don't care how good New England is, and they are good. It's unacceptable. That's not NFL football. And so everything is just being talked about. How can we be better? How can we be better as coaches? How can we call the game better? How can we game plan better? How can we execute better? How can we change practice?
So yeah, the quarterback is part of a pile of stuff that's being talked about, and it's something that we've got to find an answer to, and we got to do it by Wednesday. So,
Follow up on that.
What's that?
No, you can go. You can finish that.
Nothing. I'm not saying that every decision will be made by Wednesday, but it's by the time the players get here on Wednesday, we've got to put together a great game plan and show them reasons why we're going to go put our best foot forward on Sunday.
Zach, when you say that everything's being
we'll take a few more for Coach.
When you say everything's being evaluated, are you considering a change in play caller as well?
No, not from a play caller standpoint, but just like everybody else, he'll be challenged on from a game plan standpoint with regards to our coaching staff. So, like I said, something's got to get better, and we're going to do our best to try to find an answer.
Robert, did you address Zach's performance in front of the team today, and on-field performance, and also maybe some of the comments he made afterwards in front of the team in a team forum today?
Yeah, our team meetings, I'm not going to get in great detail about our team meetings, but everybody gets talked about in team meetings. If it's good, it's shown. If it's bad, it's shown. Offense, defense, and special teams. So it's not focusing on one player. If it's one player, that's the reason, then that one player will be focused on. But I think when you end a game and there's 150 plays combined between offense, defense, and special teams, there's a lot of discussion to be had, and I think from a team meeting standpoint, all those points are always discussed.
Robert, what does the process look like over the next 24 hours? Who's involved in this decision?
All hands on deck. So obviously, coaching staff, and just going through the tape and trying to figure out what's best for this organization.
Joe involved as well? Robert?
Joe will always be included.
What did you think of Garrett Wilson's post-game comments? It was pretty critical of the offense.
Same thing that, with regards to, it's no different than Zach. He's an ultimate competitor. Just wants to win, just wants to do right, works as hard as anybody. You guys know him. He's very emotional. You see, he's very demonstrative when he's celebrating. He's very demonstrative when he's upset, and you can see it. He wears his heart on his sleeve. And so, him, obviously we always want to be better in front of the media, in front of, and just keep our cool, because it's an opportunity to speak to our teammates. But again, he'll learn from it, but I don't have an issue with it. He calls spade a spade. It wasn't good enough yesterday.
Robert,
last one here.
One non-QB question for you.
Thanks, buddy.
Well, I don't think you're gonna enjoy this question either. When you watched the punt return back, when you watched it, what went wrong from the kick perspective, from the coverage perspective? Should he have kicked that out of bounds? What broke down on that play?
A lot of things. Braden was kicking the ball well yesterday. Get the ball outside the numbers, try to pin him in a corner, tackle it like we did nine times before that. They'll take a knee, we'll go to overtime. But we, it was a line drive down the middle of the field. They had a counter going. They pinned us inside. Our contain guys didn't get outside like we were supposed to. So it was just as a first punt return, from my understanding, punt return for a touchdown on the season. So just whatever could go wrong, Murphy's Law, whatever could go wrong went wrong at that very moment. So
thank you, everyone. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. This concludes today's availability.
Recording